And good evening and welcome to City Focus. I'm Marty Olsen, your host, and a Happy New Year. We've had a little time off and now it's time to get back to business. And I think it was most appropriate to open up the new year with my friend and yours, Tony D'Angelo. So Tony D, welcome to the program.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And for those of you who listen to 94.9, Lee Elsey, Tony's a weekly guest on Tuesday mornings at 7 o'clock, and he offers his wit and wisdom primarily on state issues. And when I have him on here, we sometimes will expand that a little bit. And
appreciate the opportunity.
And he's one of my favorite guests. And he travels quite a distance to come down here to be with us, so I greatly appreciate that. And he's one of my favorite guys to bring in, so I appreciate him carving out that time.
I appreciate you having me.
Well, I'll tell you, let's tie something together that's a little local.
Anywhere you want to go.
A little local, and also has some federal ties to it, and it's called wind.
Wind.
And what's going on in New London with the blades and that they're constructing down on State Pier, and the Trump administration has been showing a lack of enthusiasm for this project and looking to shut it down.
Well, it's like, where do you begin, Marty? I mean, we need every type of power, but yet we're we're a third world country, especially a third world state when it comes to electricity. We don't have any real clear policy whatsoever. And where we had such an emphasis of, we've got to have e-cars, we've got to have wind, we've got, and this is because otherwise we're going to die of climate change. And now, when you have people in Washington who at least think, who at least are aggressive, or at least are doing their best to do something, it's, well, you know, Doug Burgum and Chris Wright, Secretary of Energy, we got to get a handle on this thing. It's crazy. This is just nuts. Doesn't mean we're not going to do it, but we just can't have these things just, you know, flitting off forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. I mean, wind is not going to be a primary source of energy. I mean,
no.
Is it sustainable? Nope. As long as there's wind, yes.
It can work, but it's not a main source. And so, I mean, you have rationality here. Sure, yeah, there's okay. Well, there's a lot invested. Well, why did it get so out of control in the first place? Excuse me.
Well, I would argue that it was grossly underestimated. I mean, you know, when the state negotiated with Orstat, and the Orstat's fixed investment was, I believe, $93 million, and anything over and above, you and I and everybody else in Connecticut has gotten socked with picking up the tab.
Well, don't you love the way that
now we're up over $300 million.
Right, and the thing is stalled to the point where you wonder if it's ever going to be done again. So it's, I mean, I don't see it as a long-term solution. How could it be? I think it can be a partial solution, but you got to get control of these things, basically. And I mean, I don't know how, if you keep saying, well, we'll build it and it'll finally be this, there's nothing that's ever sustained that. And we're talking about this actually with Kathy, my wife, go walking in the desert, in Palm Desert and Palm Springs. Turbines all over the place. They generate very little, and they've been there for years and years and years and years. And then it's like, well, what? And this is the thing in Connecticut. Why is something always going to work here and it's going to be the best thing when it's failed everywhere else? We don't. And it's almost like, but it's failed somewhere. Oh no! You're not supposed to look at that.
Well, it's and London is locked in. Actually, the state is, but the state pier happens to be located in New London, Deepwater Port, and 20 years with Orstat. So whether this thing works or doesn't, or fails, we're stuck.
And throw that on top of all the long-term liabilities, on all the billions untold. You know, we talk about this all the time with Bob Swick. We hear about the fiscal guardrails. If we have the fiscal guardrails in place, everything will be fine. No, it's not. That's only a part of the bulbous billions and billions of dollars of unascertainable long-term liabilities, that unfunded mandates that there's no clue. The legislature, both parties, have never approached that. No candidate, no governor, no person, you know, has ever. I get very concerned about that.
Yeah. Well, it's you know, the president has certainly, I think, clearly articulated where he thinks this should go, and that's on the shelf. And we do have our congressional delegation in Washington, our 5 reps and 2 senators that are doing their best whining job.
They're whining.
You know, come on now, we're almost done. It's, you know, we've put so much into it. Let's finish up. Come on, let's tidy up. And it's almost like we're, you know, good money after bad.
But isn't that the way in so many things that we've done here? Over and over and over again. But it's like, oh, there's a new project. This is now going to save us. And none of these projects ever do. Yeah. They just create more debt. They create more underutilized capacity. And to your point, we end up paying for it. Or there's another bond, or there's another unfunded mandate. And, you know, this isn't going to be able to be sustained forever. It just can't be.
So we'll see how it shakes out. But I think it's something that needs to be addressed clearly. Unfortunately, the day paper here locally in Southeastern Connecticut is up to their eyeballs supporting this project, and no matter, you know, and plus the fact they're hostile to Trump.
You're right.
So anything that Trump is for, by definition, they're
going to be against. Yeah.
I mean, 100%. I mean, they haven't found anything he's done correctly in 5 years.
Well, I mean, even if you hate him, you can't really argue that. He's done some great things.
Yeah,
he's done a couple of things.
And
continues to. And he might do a couple of things that you may look at and say, I kind of wish he didn't do it, or gee, that was a bad thing to do, or but no presence.
But maybe it's the approach. I mean, his personality.
Right.
I think that's his biggest drawback. I mean.
A lot of people like it. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, he stopped with that. Just get on to the next thing. And it's just, you know, he's kind of like, I sort of liken him many times to like your uncle that shows up and just says things like, okay, Uncle Charlie, I heard you the first time, you know, but it's, you have to look at the totality of the man. Look at the policies. He is a visionary guy. Well, you know, I mean, you can't say he isn't. Look at what he's built. Look at what he's done. His management style, I don't know if I'd want to work for him.
Well, I don't know if I could work for him. But,
right.
But the thing that I mean, I believe is that, I mean, he is constantly in negotiating mode.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, he's a visionary, where he's looking at things 3 or 4 steps out, and everybody else is sitting back looking at this. And he's looking at the camera, that's showing us and he's negotiating this, and you're on that while he's like a chess master.
If you go back 8 years when they had the Republican primary, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz, they were all like, you know, this guy is an entertainer, he's a cartoon character, he doesn't belong here, he's this and that. They are now like his greatest apostles. And they are all, wherever he wants to lead us, we'll go. Lindsey Graham said last night, for all his Lindsey Grahamness, he said, this is the greatest president in American history. I mean, You can argue that, but the other thing is, 8 years ago, he would say, what is this man doing on the stage? It's just, I think they're getting away from the political bubble to like, yeah, there really is a function when one can do in office to exercise governance. Nobody, and people hold office, but who really governs?
Yeah. Well, and one thing too, I think that's important this term is that when it comes to his cabinet, these are Trump's guys and gals.
He's learned that lesson.
And first time around, I mean, he didn't. I don't think he was well prepared.
No, not at all.
And he was handed people that other people may have had interests with, and they may not have been Trump's interests. And they were, cutting him off at the knees in a job where they needed to be clearly outlining and supporting his agenda.
Well, and today I've got the conference on. It's the Maha conference. It's Kennedy, it's McCary, it's Oz, and Bhattacharya, I believe it was. And they're talking about how we've been, nutritionally, we've been sold a bill of goods. We were always told.
For the last 40 or 50 years.
Mm-hmm. And let's change that. And this is how we have to change it. And it's like, I'm watching this, and this is why there's so much disease with young people and illness. And it's like, these guys are thinking, they're doing something, they're changing things. I've never seen a government do that. And, in the same time block, you've got Hegseth and you've got Rubio briefing the Senate on, making the seas secure. I thought, this is governance. This is work.
Rubio's been a star. I mean, he's really a sharp guy. And I think he's been shining in his role as the Secretary of State.
And people were worried about that. I remember having a discussion with Chet Martin about it, and he was like, I don't know. I said, look, it's a different role than being
he's not
a president.
now, he's appointed.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be a conciliator, and you've got to be a leader. He's doing both. He is.
So, I mean, I think that he's doing a stellar job. And wherever they're sending him, I mean,
he's upholding the dignity of the office. And you can't be how could I put it? You can't be a pushover, and you can't be a yes man. I mean, like I talk about, where I worked way under William P. Rogers. Very nice man, been in and out of government, but he wasn't like, when Nixon said to do something, he did it. He never Mr. President, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, I'll do what you want. Mm-hmm. And that's the, that I think is the difference. And these guys are really showing leadership.
And I like some of the other appointments that Trump has hired. I mean, Witkoff with these international issues and these wars and negotiations. He's not a government guy. He's a businessman, and he seems to be taking these things on and representing our country and our president well. And he's no pushover.
And Trump says, I guess he said he stopped his 9th war. And yeah, Russia and Ukraine is a very, very slow thing to do. With what happened in Venezuela, that's going to put pressure on Putin to settle, because he won't be able to use oil as a leverage, provided we get what's happening in Venezuela moving quickly. That's the whole thing right now. Time is really of the essence. You're facing a midterm in what, 10, 11 months? 10 and a half months.
Yeah, well, listen, Trump was pretty candid in a recent remarks, I think, to the House.
Yes, he was.
House retreat, they called it. He says, look, if we don't maintain our majority here in the House, all hell will break loose, and they'll be going through impeachment procedures and just gumming up the works.
We will see no progress. We will see nothing but a clown show. We will see Al Green waving his cane, talking about, how we've got to get rid of this man. We will talk, and it's just like, if you feel that way, America doesn't need that. Does not.
But that's what the Democrats will bring. I mean, I haven't seen since Trump was initially elected, and this goes right through the Biden administration to today, where they have any ideas other than that Trump is bad.
Yeah. And
he's bad, and we're good, and that's their platform.
Well, or we're saving you from total and complete destruction because he's going to destroy you. I talk to people that are like, well, he'll have us wiped out in a year. I mean, they said last year we were supposed to be wiped out now. It's like...
Well, we're supposed to have wiped out his first term.
Right.
It didn't happen.
And somehow we survived 4 years of Joe Biden. That was a gift from God.
Yeah, and we don't really know who was governing during his presidency. He was mentally incompetent the entire term, in my opinion. I mean, this guy didn't have it, and the media, the party, family, etc.
Everybody covered.
The big cover-up.
Everybody covered, and it's a sad thing. I mean, and I don't know if we'll ever really get to who did what to whom and who's responsible.
May not come during his lifetime.
Exactly. Just
some historian may dig this up. Who knows when? But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Nobody seems to be. He's in the rearview mirror. He keeps poking his head up every once in a while for air.
Well, and there's always a new scandal. Now it's the Somali scandal, and it's like. And as angry as I can get with James Comer as to, I just don't think he moves quickly enough on anything. It's like now he's got 2 or 3 things ahead of what happened to Joe Biden. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's just there's so many things.
Yeah. Folks, you're watching City Focus. I'm Marty Olsen, your host, and I'm joined tonight by Tony D'Angelo, affectionately known as Tony D. And we're discussing politics at many levels and economics, business. And if you'd like to contribute to the program, we'd love to hear from you. So give us a buzz at 860-445-7499. And we'd love to hear from you and share your thoughts. Early in the term, Trump broached, he wanted Greenland, which he didn't, I don't recall that ever coming up during the campaign.
No, me neither. And, he's like, I like that, I want it.
And I'm kind of saying to myself, where'd this come from and why? I mean, you've got all this other stuff that's rolling. And why are you throwing this tangent in here? And then it kind of died for a while, and it's resurfacing. And I'm just wondering, what's your take on this?
I would like the people of Greenland to decide. It's their country. Let them decide. Let them hold a referendum. Do you want the United States? Do you want to become a part of the United States or not? I can see the president wanting it for strategic reasons. I can see it as an asset to the United States, but these people are in the country. They have a voice. Let them decide what they want to do. I think if there were that referendum, I think 60% of Greenland would say, yeah, we're for it.
Well, that's interesting that you, but do they have the authority to do that, or is it something that Denmark has got to, what?
That's true. It's the possession thing.
And what type of a relationship would we have with Greenland? Would it be the 51st state? Would it be a protectorate, let's say like Guam or Samoa?
I would think that.
Or Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I would think that.
Something of that nature.
Yeah. And I think they would send a delegate to the Congress. That's how I would see it.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say that Trump's reasoning has it's plausible.
Extremely, extremely.
You know, I mean, coming out of left field, it kind of, I think, cut everybody with the pants down. Nobody was expecting it.
He's an idea man, and some of the things are incredibly good. Some of the things are, oh my, is he kidding? Or some of the things are, is he kidding? 6 months later, no, he might have a point. That's just how the man's mind works. And he was that way in New York. He was that way as a builder. And he always was, you know, kind of a renegade, non-traditional. Going back to when he had his office overlooking Central Park, and he saw the ice rink, and he said, "That's terrible." He said, "I'm going to go fix the thing." And Eddie Koch was the mayor. He's like, "No, you know, oh, we have this." And Trump just went ahead and fixed it. And Eddie Koch hated his guts. I mean, he's always been that way. You know, and that's, I mean, at times it makes you a little nervous. It's sort of like a, you know, high wire act as a president. But I guess I look at it and say, if you keep my country safe, if you keep my taxes down, if you make the streets safe, if you do I'd like to see his economic policies in Connecticut. We need them badly. We need any economic policy in Connecticut. It's like he's not my neighbor, he's not my brother, he's not my brother-in-law. I don't think about him that much personally because, frankly, I just don't have that much airspace in my limited brain. But other people have, like, you know, they wake up in the morning, Trump. They go to bed at night, Trump. During the day, Trump. I don't get it.
Well, but I'll tell you, he's an amazing in how he's able to command and demand.
Gets
his
results.
presence.
He gets results.
I mean, he cuts through the BS, and I mean, he's on all day, every day. All day, just about.
What I do like is when he goes to the back of the plane and he just talks like you and I are talking. And, you know, people that don't like him, because they were complaining for years, oh, Biden never gave us a press conference. Oh, we never got any disclosure. Now it's like, oh, we get too much information. Oh, we just can't deal with it. Oh, the guy's up 24 hours. Oh, you know, like, shut up, you crybaby.
Well, yeah, do your job.
Yeah.
I mean, don't cry about accessibility. The guy is.
He's just there, you know.
He does a press conference. He's scheduled to do, 15 minutes, half an hour, and he takes questions and continues to take questions. And on a multitude of topics, no notes.
Yeah. And, this whole thing of, he doesn't have the mental capacity. You try doing what he's doing now, being half his age. To your point, I think whatever you can do to hate him if you don't like him and make it into some sort of a cause celeb, you're going to do that.
Well, the thing that amazes me is how there are folks that blindly support the Democratic Party who do nothing except to damage them. When I look at what happens, in our urban areas and the level of poverty and what's tolerated in our public education system, and this is all promulgated by our Democratic friends, and people just blindly go along.
I mean, I might be personally sort of middle right. I'm not like way over here. I'm not libertarian. Libertarianism would be great, except one day you go home and your neighbor decides to build the Chrysler Building, and as Diana Ross said in the song, there ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm kind of like, I want sanity, but I want balance. And you have the sane Democrat who wants sanity, but might have a little bit of a different solution. Like I call them my girl clients. I've had them for years, and their liberals are lovely, lovely, lovely women. girls and women. I had them from the time they were girls. And we'll have discussions about how do you solve crime. I'll say, well, you solve crime by making punishment more severe. And it's like, no, they'll say you solve crime by having more education and spending more in education. But the key thing, Marty, is we both want to solve crime. We don't want all this crud in the streets. We don't want stuff that we see in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Hartford. And I say to myself, where do these sane Democratic people go? There's no place for them at all. I mean, the current Democrat Party espouses no sanity whatsoever, to the point where, you know, well, look at Pacific Palisades in California. 1 year, mismanaged the fire. Karen Bass, the mayor's out of town, and like nothing has been rebuilt. I mean,
Rebuilt? They can't even get permits to rebuild.
well, and they can't even get the insurance companies to pay to get a permit. And then when you get the permit, they don't, you know, you go there, they don't want to give it to you. I mean, I don't know where these, you know, I will call sane Democrats, I don't know where they go.
Yeah, but those aren't sane Democrats. Those are insane Democrats.
Well, that's the whole thing. They can't reconcile with, you know, I mean, let's change the sex in kids. Let's have harm reduction centers in the street. They don't want that. You know, they don't want crime in the streets. And I don't know where they go.
Well, that arm of the Democratic Party, I mean, seems to be wresting control from the more moderate folks. And I'm curious to see how this all plays out in a year with the midterm elections.
I am too.
Because if the social left, the far left, this progressive group, if they wrest control and take control of the House, get a majority of the Democratic caucus, and take control of the House, it's going to be nutso. I mean, the U.S. as we currently know and love will be. It'll become like New York under the new mayor.
Well,
is doing his best to do.
what we, I think what we all conveniently forget is that, what is today, the 7th? We're 23 days away from our next shutdown. And how long will this one be? And how long will it go? And what will be affected? And what will...
And everybody's forgotten about the one just so shortly, and Schumer,
Exactly.
who they were ready to sweep out. I
Exactly.
mean, I see him on TV every day now.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump bad, Trump bad.
Right. And where does that all go? And then it's going to be this whole thing where the Democrats, who have a sharper media machine, or one that they actually pay attention to, is you do not have your Obamacare subsidy because of Donald Trump, and he closed down the government because he hates you. And they're going to believe that. That's basically it.
Well, it's amazing how, you know, the GOP should be, they're not managing the message very well.
Not at all.
I mean,
Not at all.
it's not that difficult, I
No.
mean, in terms of the facts.
Not at all.
And they should be able to put that back in the Democrats' face and point out very clearly the distinctions on what's going on here. And there's a method to the madness here. This is not being done with malice, it's being done with a clear head.
It doesn't, they don't articulate what works for them, and it drives me crazy. How hard, and to your point, how hard is it?
I mean, these are smart, educated folks down there.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Maybe we need Truman. I mean, Harry Truman, he's the last president, didn't have a college education. And he, you know, some would argue he's one of our greatest presidents. Not at the time, but history has been kind to him.
Well, I mean, my guy was JFK. Lower taxes, strong defense, and have a powerful presence in the world.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Reagan.
And Reagan and Trump, and it's I I don't know what happened. I don't know why we have that.
JFK couldn't get nominated today.
No, and not only that, but they wouldn't nominate him because he's Bobby's uncle.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's been interesting over this past year is the coming out of John Fetterman.
Ever since that man got away from the screwy wife and got off the drugs, he's decent, he's likable, and he's sane. You may not agree with him all the time, but he's certainly a guy you could have a conversation to and work to a solution.
Yeah, I mean, he's not beholden lock, stock, and barrel as many others in his caucus.
Well, did you ever think you would live to see a day where the Democratic Party would sell out Israel? He's like the last remaining Jewish person, I believe he's Jewish, who is pro-Israel. All of them just sold out.
Look at Schumer. Schumer's a disgrace.
Yeah, bad. Bad.
He is an absolute unmitigated disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about selling out Israel. I mean, if you look at historically, from the creation of Israel, going back ironically to Truman, 48, I believe, is the GOP has always been a better ally to the state of Israel than the Democrats. Always. And I'm puzzled as to why, in a broad brush way, that the Jewish population tends to vote Democrat.
Well, if you go back to Reagan, when Reagan was campaigning, he went to the South Bronx in 1980, and he said, "This is terrible, I'm going to get this thing fixed for you. I don't care who the mayor is." And Eddie Koch said, "Come here, show me what you're going to do." They had a common interest, New York. They had another common interest, Israel, and they worked together to make things better. Why can't we do that today? I mean, Trump is interesting in the sense that now with Venezuela, he and people say, "Well, what are you going to do about the new leadership?" He went there and said, "Look, I'm going to make you some money. I'm going to fix things. You're going to get something where you can actually help yourself. Are you in?" "Yes, I'm in." This is what he wants to do, Marty, with the American cities. He wants to go to the mayors and say, "Okay, you're over here, I'm over there, but don't we have this interest, which is your city? What can we do to make it work?" They don't want any part of them. They'd rather destroy their city.
Well, kind of what we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, the level of failure in our urban areas in education, and how they can't get off the schneid to even discuss anything.
I mean,
Public safety. I mean, the level of, and that's without our issues of immigration and ICE. Just without that.
right.
Again, it's really a horrific.
Well, we've been talking about this on the Lee Elsey show. Look at Hartford. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 major buildings in Hartford are in foreclosure. There's no desire to go. There's no desire to do anything. It is a, how could I put it? It is a repulsive city. Nothing draws you there. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get out. There's no, "Oh, I'm going to go to Hartford for the," you never think of that. And it's like, well, how can a
People
governor
will go to Hartford for something and turn around and leave.
Exactly.
I mean, they may go to the Civic Center.
Right. If you go to a sporting event, you go to see a doctor, you go to, and after that, you're out. If you can get out, with the worst road design ever known to mankind, but just bad. And whenever they try to fix it, they make it worse. But the whole idea is, it's what, if you're the governor of the state, how could you look anybody in the state with clear in the eye with a straight face and say, Here's my capital city. It's it's Hiroshima after the blast. And we want to put this guy back in. Want to give him another term. I mean, on top of everything else.
Well, I just am shamed that the poobahs at the time were so cavalier about letting the Hartford Whalers leave. Losing 40 gates of 10 to 15,000 in the Civic Center was crushing.
And ever since then, it's largely been, we've been paying for it.
I mean, we're what's it now? At least 20 years, if not longer.
It was our last time, I think, to ever be thought of seriously in a national context.
I mean, I went up to the new baseball field in Hartford this past summer for the first time. And there's nothing near it. So if you want to dine, you almost have to park, drive to the stadium and park there. You may have to pay for parking twice if you want to dine outside.
And it's a hard get in and it's a hard get out for a, quote unquote, a minor league city.
Yeah. And I mean, the stadium was nice. The nice sight lines. It was a nice crowd. It was appeared to be pretty well designed in terms of getting around inside the ballpark, but it's not the big leagues though.
No.
And the Hartford Wolfpack ice hockey team is not the big leagues.
No.
And as much as some folks may think that the University of Connecticut is still not the big leagues.
No, it isn't. It isn't. And that's, and I don't know how you can look at that and say, well, I'm doing what's right for the state when your biggest city is the biggest eyesore, sinkhole, and something else hole. We come to say, well, these are the people that care for us. Well, we talked about it Tuesday on the Lee Elsey show, where and which I said to Lee, I said, how can anybody vote Democrat for anything? I mean, all they do is throw money every once in a while, hold press conferences, never do anything constructive to build anything, to make anything, to cause anything worthwhile to happen. And of course, Republicans never look at Democrats and say, well, you never do anything, you never build anything, you never make anything happen. We have solutions for that. We don't see that either, basically.
But they fund, they appropriate these huge amounts of money, and it goes to these, non-government organizations.
Well, that's just
NGOs.
it. I got a bunch of handouts for you. Ain't I great?
And we're seeing
Right.
we're seeing the results out in the Midwest, in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and Minnesota. It's and boy, they're scrambling for cover out there.
Well,
Billions.
And when you look at quote unquote, we get back to the concept of the same Democrat. The same Democrat used to be very pro-labor, very, I want good jobs, I want unions, but I want profitability. I want profitability because I want my guys to get the profit. And, we'll fight, we'll tussle, we'll strike, but that's what we want. Now it's like they don't even do that. They just want to hand out the money and not, it's all carrot, it's no stick, it's no nothing. And it's just, but sure enough, we're going to see a press conference somewhere along the way. Well, Trump wants to starve you, and I've got these benefits for you. I'm sorry, the camera's over there.
But it's what's going on and what's been unearthed out there in Minnesota is again, it's disgraceful, and the defense mechanism of the Democrats is racism and Trump.
And
let's not get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on. this is a conspiracy, and it's led by Trump, and it's racist because of the Somalis, and that's a country that's known as one of the more corrupt on the planet, along with Ukraine.
But we got to support him. We've got to keep supporting him. And I just don't have words to describe that. It's when you've got all kinds of money flying out, all kinds of different ways, and you're, shall we say, I guess it comes down to, if you're a politician, what is your big thing? Let's get elected. Once you're elected, well, job number one is get reelected. And how do you get reelected? Well, you throw money and make everybody think you're a good guy. Our congressman from this district is exceptional at that. He will end up in more photo ops holding a check probably than Carter's got pills. Doesn't do anything else. but basically, he's got that mastered. Keeps a low profile. Basically, every once in a while says something that is presumably intelligent, but of course it isn't. And it's like, but none of them look at the problem to solve it. And to your point, we were talking about that earlier at dinner, the problem is not hard to solve, Marty. The problem is you can solve it, but will you? Will you do what's necessary? And can you show the results of that to people and what they need to do? Because otherwise, I mean, it's, I don't know. We just freed Venezuela, and now we're going to become Venezuela.
Well,
if we don't.
It's ironic because Venezuela is a, as we're speaking, case study of a country that just very recently was a model of capitalism and growth and efficiency.
All of that.
Incomes rising. I mean, it was terrific. And then you allow the socialists to slide in, and look what you got now.
Well, way back, I remember on Lee's show, back when I was doing 10-minute segments, I did a segment on Fordlandia. And you've heard of Fordlandia. That was the tire plant of Henry Ford. Henry Ford had the idea that if he made a utopia that he could make his, in Brazil I believe it was, they could make their own rubber and everything would be wonderful, and we'll feed them, we'll clothe them, we'll give them a plant, and there will be no stress, no strife, and this will all be great, until one night somebody didn't like the dinner they were served and they caused a riot. And that was the end of Fordlandia, the beginning of the end of Fordlandia. It's just, it doesn't work. I mean, yeah, sounds great. I mean, utopia is a great concept. Sir Thomas More tried it, what, in 1500? Failed then, it's going to fail now.
Well, listen, Milton Hershey,
yeah.
Similar, smaller scale.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a, folks just, I don't know, the younger folks seem to think that there's a better way. You know, capitalism has brought more people, risen more folks than any other system known to mankind. Now, are there folks that get left behind? Well, there are.
And that's going to
As opposed to
happen.
everybody being poor, there's a few poor. And that rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, and who said that? John F. Kennedy. When he lowered the tax rate from, was it 90 to 70?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got our work cut out for us, and I think we're going to have an interesting year coming up in terms of our elections, the midterms, and it'd be interesting to see how each party tries to position themselves. I mean, are the Democrats going to run on issues, or are they going to run against Trump? I suspect they're going to run against Trump.
They will run against Trump. They will say to everybody, the reason you don't have is because of him. You don't have your Obamacare subsidy. You don't have your SNAP. You don't have this because he took it away from you. And I agree here with Lee Elsey that Republicans have got to have a concrete health plan than is the concept that they discuss of let's just give people the subsidies and let them go and let this be a free market, I think is great. But like, damn it, do it.
Well, I'll tell you something. One thing I was surprised to learn when I first got involved in local politics is that how nervous most people get when it comes to money. Most folks are uncomfortable, they don't understand it, and if you hand them, it's kind of like, Trump right now, he wants to give all these newborns $1,000.
Right.
Now, will it see $1,000 at the end of the first year, or will it grow until they're 20 years old and they've got maybe a down payment on a house? And this gets in with Social Security, where I think when Bush was talking about a lot of privatization at the time, the younger Bush, and folks, I just want my Social Security. Even if it's only paying 1.2%, I'd rather get that than the unknown of the free market. People are petrified of the free market.
Well, that's what
the majority.
Yeah. Well, politics has never liked the free market because if people can regulate themselves, you don't need politicians. What a wonderful world that would be, folks.
Well, that's what we have with this virtual currency stuff going on right now, which I'm not exactly ready to dive into. I don't know about you.
I don't like anything where the value of it is determined by what someone else says it is, if they're telling me the truth.
Yeah, and nothing backing it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that.
That's probably a subject of another show.
Well, it could be in and of itself. I think that a lot of folks that I know in finance that they shudder when you bring up the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff. It's just. But at the moment, it's kind of like the Wild West. It's not regulated. It's not taxed. It's I don't know how they get away with this stuff at the moment. And it's one thing too. Trump supports this stuff, which I'm surprised at.
I think it's going to be a part of the future. The question is, in order to be something viable, it's got to be more ascertainable. To me, it's just not ascertainable.
Well,
it can be all over the place.
Well, it is all over the place. It's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
What happens if somebody doesn't pay? What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. We shall see. Well, I'll tell you, we're almost running out of time here. This has been like we're going here at warp speed here. We should have another hour. We'll have to talk through about that for next time.
Provided I don't hiccup, yes.
But we've had a nice chat on a variety of topics tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the program. I always enjoy having Tony on, and hopefully we'll get you on here sometime.
Yeah,
soon.
well, as long as the weather's holding up through the winter, I can come.
Sounds good. Well, listen, Tony, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
And folks,
Thanks, everybody.
We appreciate you watching the program and watching City Focus, and we'll be on again next week. But for now, we'll say good night.